All right. Hey, this is Tellman Knudsen, and if you were invited to watch this video from Patty, then you know who you are. Here's the rundown. I'm doing this run across the United States, and it's called Tellman Run. And here's why. Basically, about a year ago, I went and spent a week on Sir Richard Branson's island with about 20 other guys who are really smart marketers. And I have a big internet marketing company that I started with $50 4 years ago and built into a pretty successful company. And we were all up on Branson's Island. Basically, we each spent 40 grand to go there. And we spent a week brainstorming ways to help Virgin Unite, which is Richard Branson's nonprofit, brainstorming ways to help them make more money. So we paid a whole bunch of money to go and spend a week brainstorming on how to make Virgin Unite more money and make them more successful. And as a result, Richard Branson ended up spending about pretty much the entire week with us last year. And I just got back from this year's trip. Same thing, about 20 really smart entrepreneurs and internet marketing guys who are extraordinary at direct response marketing and internet marketing. Spent again a week up on the island. We each paid 40 grand to go, and we wrote a check for almost $500,000 out to Virgin Unite. 447 grand I think was the grand total this year, in addition to paying for renting out the island at 50 grand a day. And what came out of all this last year was I started reading about Richard Branson and got really inspired. And the inspiration, I was reading about him before I went to the island. I read all of his books and everything else because I didn't really know much about him prior to going. And what ended up happening was I was so inspired by all the crazy stuff that he's done. I was trying to figure out, well, how could I follow in this guy's footsteps? How could I do something wild enough, big enough, gargantuan enough to really build my company, build my brand, make impact. Basically, my intention was, how could I do something huge? And I was like thinking about this while I was out running, and I said, whoa, holy mackerel, I could run across the country. And I was born with deformed legs, and my feet pointed in at 45-degree angles and all this stuff. And when I got into high school, I was convinced to join the cross-country team, even though my legs were all messed up. Anyway, ended up, whatever. Long story. I can tell you more about that later. But the point is, it's I'm 32 now, and was on Branson's Island. Decided to run across the United States of America. And in reading more about Branson's books and so on, I was like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to raise a whole bunch of money? So I said, well, I'm going to raise $20 million. And I didn't know what cause I was going to raise it for yet. Went to Branson's Island, met all the Virgin Unite people, and they were awesome. And their U.S.-based initiative was based in, their one U.S.-based initiative, they have initiatives all over the world, of course, was to help end and put a stop to teenage and youth homelessness. And what's going on now is we're raising a huge amount of money. My goal is to raise $100 million for teenage homelessness and teaching homeless youth entrepreneurial skills so that they can pop out, because they don't generally follow the rules and stuff anyway, so that they can pop out of homelessness and start using their inability to listen to other people and wanting to do things out on their own and everything else, use that kind of rebel streak in them in order to be tremendously successful. And we're working with Virgin Unite to do this. So September 9th, I'm starting in New York City. I'll be running basically from New York City to Chicago, and from Chicago I will be taking Route 66 all the way across the country to LA and ending on Santa Monica Pier, right near Bubblegum Shrimp. And so what happened was that I started telling people about this run across the country, and everybody started giving me the I guess I'm just gonna everybody started giving me the reference, and hopefully you'll be able to pick on what I'm talking about here. And what ended up happening was I was annoyed with it at first, and then I said, forget this. I'm gonna start swimming downstream instead of upstream, and we named the initiative Run, Tellman Run, and it was just this huge thing, and I was like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to get you involved with this somehow? And so the idea was that we wanted to get you involved with the start of the run, and use that as one of the many catapults in raising this huge amount of money that I'm going to raise, both through corporate sponsor and through individual incremental sponsor across the way as we're running across the country. So basically, that's the big thing that I'm looking for is for you to start the run with me on September 9th. And hey, if you want to do more, want to get more involved or whatever, that's amazing. That's fantastic. But really, the you're very busy and everything else, and I'm hoping that you could help start the run and really get this thing off to a good launch. It would mean a lot. It would be very, very helpful. And Patty says you're awesome. And this may be right up your alley. So hopefully it is. I'm happy to answer any questions you can throw at me. All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. There'll be more with the enclosed email that you got this link from. All right. Bye-bye.